Hey, what's going on? I'm Johnny Fisher from Still Here Podcast, the number one podcast in the Central Valley. And I just want to talk to everybody real quick about Eventboost. Eventboost is an event coordinating company that works with nonprofits to help raise money for their cause. They do fundraiser dinners, comedy shows, casino nights, car shows, silent auctions, raffles, and so much more. From conception to cleanup, they take care of everything from alpha to omega. So if you're in the Fresno and Clovis area or any place in the Central Valley, hit these guys up at Official Event Boost on Instagram or eventboost.com for all your event needs.
Do you have pests? If so, don't let pests take control of you. Contact CSI Exterminators today for your free pest inspection. CSI Exterminators is proud to serve the residents in the Fresno and Clovis, California area. They also service residents and businesses owners in Southern California, along the Central California coast, the Bay Area, and in Northern California. They provide residential, commercial, and multifamily property pest control services. If you want a trustworthy, reliable, Fresno-based pest control company, look no further. Look up CSI Exterminators at csiexterminators.com or follow them on Facebook at CSI Exterminators. What's so great about these guys is they are a veteran-owned pest control company based in Fresno. Together, they have more than 50 plus years of experience. So give CSI Exterminators a like on Facebook or visit their website at csiexterminators.com.
All right, everybody, want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Bad Donkey Wraps and Graphics. Bad Donkey Wraps and Graphics is a full-service sign shop graphic design studio. They specialize in branding, graphic design, advertising in the form of vehicle wraps, trade show displays, and various of other forms of signage to help your company reach its full potential. Their promise to you is to build quality products through their passion and creative drive. They are committed to excellence with leadership and inventive thinking, paving the way for success for you and your business. So hit these guys up if you guys are looking for all your branding, graphic design needs, and advertising vehicle wraps right now. You can find them at baddonkeyWraps.com or on Facebook at Bad Donkey Wraps and Graphic or on Instagram at Bad Donkey Design Co. Now let's get into the show. What's going on, everybody? We are back at it with another podcast. This is your boy, Jose Cruz, your favorite Native American. And we got the wifey on the directing board. What's up, Laura?
Hey, guys.
So, yeah, today, let's get right into it. Excuse my voice, dude. My voice has been shot, has been just messed up, these, when the weather's hot and cold.
Yeah.
So, you guys forget my voice, man. But today, we got a special guest. We got my man, Manni. So, Manni, let's just jump straight into this, bro. God, let's get to know you, man. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you do, who you are, where you're from, and we'll go from there.
So, my name is Manni Antonio, and... I guess everybody kind of knows me as a muscle guy here in town.
Dude, yeah, you're pretty swole.
So, and it's mainly because of that whole muscle therapy practice that I started, So, so I grew up in Seaside up north, in between kind of like Monterey and Salinas?
Yeah, Salinas, yeah.
So you got a lot of that like overcast weather. So I totally understand what you mean with the, hot and cold. Moved to Bakersfield maybe, I think I was like 14, 15.
Okay.
And it just about everything, man. My mom hurt her back, slit her disc.
Really?
Yeah, had just the whole 9 yards. And I ended up realizing real quick this is really common amongst Americans, especially when you have crazy injury.
Yeah.
Like the whole family gets affected.
Yeah.
So when people ask us, they're like, "Oh, why'd you move to Bakersfield?" I'm like, a necessity.
Out of necessity.
And now as an adult, you like comprehend all of it.
Yeah.
It's just like, because as kids, you're upset.
Mm-hmm.
You're upset your parents took you away from the beach, your friends. But like I said, as an adult and as a parent now, it's dude, I'm grateful they made those moves.
Yeah.
Everything kind of played out. So I was in Bakersfield, graduated high school over there, met some awesome people, awesome mentorships. Did some of my schooling over there, did their Bakersfield College for a little bit. Still didn't know what I wanted to do. And, just went through life too, just trying to figure out what it is I wanted to do and find my passion. And, like most people, dude, I never thought it was going to click, and I don't know, man. I mean, can I start bragging about my mom?
Go ahead,
Yeah,
dude.
okay.
I mean, let's talk about let's get to know you, bro, because
So-
I think that'll lead up to where you're at today.
Okay,
man.
cool. Yeah. So the whole thing with my mom, right? She hurt her back, and I'm talking about. I mean, one of those hard-working women. Like, dude, there's hard-working, and there's women mom hard-working.
And then there's your mom.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
And
your mom,
so-
really hard-working women, and then
yeah, dude. And
feel
so
you.
like having that prime example really just eventually my mind just kind of like realized like, dude, this is the example that you're looking for. And then I just applied that same work ethic into what I wanted to do. Like I found my passion, and then that same work ethic that I witnessed from her, working 2-3 jobs, kind of like translated. And once I realized I had the best mentorship in front of me, oh, that's a wrap. So
no, that's what's up.
But-
I feel like even getting to know you, because maybe we can jump into this, because me and Johnny, we went to your shop about a couple of weeks ago, and because we met, through Roski unintentionally. You started following the show because you saw Roski post about our pod, and I followed you back. And I'm a guy that's like, I'll DM people quick, because I like to be that warm connection, to where it's like this term. There's like the cold connection, the warm connection, the personal connection. The warm connection is, all right, hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate you looking at your work.
Yeah.
Let's connect, And so, and your support right out the gate was dope, so we appreciate that. So look, again, then a week, dude, all this happened quick, 2 weeks ago, really. And, so kind of go over, as far as, because again, we went to your shop last week, your mom's work ethic, and that led you to where you are at right now. Because, dude, man, the session that you put on me and Johnny was like next level.
yeah, no, sweet, man. You know what? I totally forgot to hit you guys up with like just your reviews. So now it's a great time to ask.
Yeah, dude.
So how did you feel after it?
Bro, I felt amazing. Like Johnny said, he was like 7-8 hours
Yeah.
of like feeling really good, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
And dudes like that, like people don't realize there's people like that paying 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't. What did I tell you? Oh, it's crazy when you master pain.
Yeah, that's right. That's what
And
you said.
that Johnny's one of those examples.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean?
Yeah, so me, dude, I'll be real. I had almost a day or two of feeling amazing.
Yeah.
Because the session, as you guys are listening, because I'm taking notes about what you're saying, because I like topics like that, of mastering pain. As you guys are seeing right now, B-roll of me and Johnny getting a work on from Manni in your shop, and you're digging in tissue. You're talking about the scar tissue that settles. And that, because I'm 40 years old, so I got like 40 years of just.
Right. Yeah. That workload. And I always tell everybody, I'm like, you guys start thinking about like the less we do to our body, we're technically digging a hole. So you got to think about how deep you're in that hole to be like, you have to be realistic with yourself. You know? And so like, it's cool because most people give themselves anxiety. They don't know where to start. They start talking about flexibility, try and touch your toes, and they just don't know where to start. So, I mean, going back to, it really starts off with breaking it down to somebody where it makes sense, and then giving them a little taste of hope. You know
Dude,
what I mean?
you gave me that because I felt good. We had a last Friday we had a shoot, and I felt good. We were standing all day in a little concrete, like a warehouse, all on concrete.
Yeah.
And dude, I felt good. I felt mobile. I felt amazing. And the work you were doing on me, dude, was intense. You were going over how many knots, and I was like, oh, knot. There's a knot there. There's a knot there, man. And to me, I just feel like, again, referring back to your mom's work ethic, I feel like you obviously knew what you were doing. You knew how to, attack the body. Not in a crazy way, but in a intentional way to where
manipulate it.
Manipulate it.
Yeah.
Because that's what you said, muscle manipulation.
Yeah. Dude, well, how crazy is that? Remember, we were like, dude, it's nuts that I kind of feel like I'm barely tapping into it. There's I mean, it's not like I'm the first therapist to actually do any kind of practice like this, but I do feel like for myself, I've tried to make it more attractive in a way where they're not so scared. I try to be transparent with the practice to where they can see like live footage of the videos. I know there are some old therapists that aspired for sure to be like one day, but like, it's all technique. You don't really want to share your technique. You don't want to, give the other guy your secrets and everything. So I as somebody that was growing in the industry, I know for me personally, I wish there was more people like that where they're open to share.
Yeah.
And I tell therapists all the time, because there is a little bit of intimidation, I would say, that I get from other therapists, either because they don't know me or they assume something. But I think,
well, I would think because you baddie, bro. You're a baddie, bro.
Nah, but that's my biggest thing, though. Like I said, I hope to not throw off those kind of vibes, and then just kind of, if anything, become more of an influence.
Dude, I think you are, bro.
Yeah.
I really. And when I say you're a baddie, you're a dime piece, bro. Because you take care of yourself. And one, it's like one thing I've learned, not learned, but I've noticed in all like sports, therapy, people who talk about your healthy living or motivation, it's like you yourself aren't a product of your own work. You know, it's like you get this football coach. I don't know if you remember the Hut Gut from Cleveland. Hut. It's like, how in the hell are you going to teach football when your ass can't even run? And you can't even do what they're doing. But to me, but I feel like you're living your brand. You're living what your whole life. Your lifestyle is your business.
You know what? And I would just listen to, I forget this guru's name, but he was like, when you stop calling it a practice and you actually turn that practice into a lifestyle, that's when the magic happens. And I kind of feel like I am getting closer to where, it's the shift.
Yeah.
So work now is fun. And it's even funner when I push myself to learn more. Or to like want to be better at it.
That's dope.
So I feel like I'm starting to get that transition. I'm 31. I'll be 32 in April, so.
Well, it is April.
Yeah, I know, right? So I feel like.
April what again?
April 9th.
9th, that's right. I'm 27.
Yeah.
So dude. Johnny's the 19th, or I think so, it was the 19th, But one thing, let's tell everybody like the name of your business, where you are downtown, all your information.
So it's Manni's Muscle Therapy, Manni. Remember, Manni with an I.
Manni with
an I. Like,
y'all write that down.
And, I'm very lucky, and I'm actually super grateful to be part of that downtown Fresno rebuilding, remodeling, regentrifying, whatever they're doing over there. Man, whoever's in charge, killing it.
That's what's up.
So I'm right off Fulton, 1612 Fulton. Like I said, I was really fortunate to get one of those work-live units. So, man, it's really one of those cool things, because my life has just gotten to the point where I've been allowed to, really pull effort into my practice, my work. And man, even though it's a lot of work, like,
it's not really though if you love it, right? It's
And like I said, there's a hunger. And I realize, I think I realized this at when my late 20s, people kept pointing out that I was young, and I've had a really good mentorship that's kept me out of trouble, and it's finally starting to click. I was like, dude, 31, like, you need to grab life and then just even excel more. And I'm kind of glad that I'm starting to get it. It's starting to click now.
That's dope.
I kind of feel like I'm turned to a man,
dude. well, here's the thing though. You're right, because dude, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe we've been married this May will be 17 years, and I didn't really start clicking until I was like 35.
Yeah.
I had the jobs, I had the thing, but like the maturity of like, actually now, I got to dive into this. And so all this, man, was really about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But the training behind it was still there, but to actually be mature enough to handle it, we're still in that growing stage, man. For you to be so young, that's dope, because a lot of young men do not mentally mature till after 35. And I've seen some studies. I'll look up those links. I'll put them in the description below. But men don't mature. Women mature quick. Women have that common sense maturity that men lack. So, and for you to grasp that, even at this age, at your age, and even like you said, it really all stemmed from, like you said, good mentorship. And seeing a good work ethic from your mother. And so let's finish kind of like what you do, like in your practice, what you offer, because we were there. I love your setup.
Yeah,
dude,
no,
your
thank you.
setup. Dude, after this, my daughter, I'll have her show you. I'll have her show you her artwork.
Oh yeah,
dude,
yeah,
that
for sure.
that Goku rose
Yeah.
is sick, man. But your setup is dope. I like how it has the practice look, but it's you.
Yeah.
Anime, you got all office stuff, wrestling, you got Bloodsport posters, Rocky, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and his
Rodman.
Rodman, dude, you can't forget Rodman, bro.
Kids always ask me, they're like, actually one of my my clients, shout out to Jack, but he was like, who's that? And I was like, oh, you want to know Rodman?
You're all get out.
Nah, but man, talk about somebody who, ahead of the game. So
That's dope.
but yeah, man. So the whole muscle manipulation practice came about. What initially, like I said, my mom, man, and she had already been hurt for five, maybe 6 years. And so seeing her work her 2-3 jobs, and dude, the craziest thing though about my mom is the meals she would cook after she would, your mom, you call your mom, you're like, there's nothing to eat. And she's like, there's food in there. So we would obviously eat whatever we could find. And then by the time she got home, dude, the 5-course meal that she would, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just master in front of us. And like, dude, till this day, that is probably the most impressive thing I remember.
Yeah.
Just because it shows you how it's all perspective. Mm-hmm. It's all perspective and the will to want to make things work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're so right, man. Because again, that's a good example on, again, it's a good testament to where you're at today because you saw that.
Yeah.
You visually saw it. And again, I heard a pastor say, man, kids are like recorders, video recorders, man. They record everything you do. My kids always watching and listening the way I talk, the way I act, So now that they're older, they understand. And, for you to see that, like you said, that only, like you said, is a perspective. Now you live it.
Yeah, man. And dude, I mean, like now too, like I said, now I'm super grateful for everything.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like everything was a grand master plan, being raised in the church, that most definitely helped. But like I said, my mom getting her really pushed me into the whole kinesiology world. So
have you helped her? Do you give her sessions and all that?
Oh yeah, dude. When I tell people how bad she was and like pretty much like disabled to where they see her now and they're like, no, she wasn't that bad. I'm like, yeah, she was, but she's also the type of woman that, like, she came from Mexico. My mom just got her, what is it called? Citizenship when you become
her
American?
citizenship, yeah.
Bro, my mom knows more about the United States than the majority of people.
Wow.
She is so proud to be an American.
I love it.
Like, when people talk about, like, that people are lazy and they don't want to do it the right way. I'm like, my mom, dude, she waited in line. She paid her fees. She worked her job. Good citizen. Loves America. Dude, when she got her American citizenship, dude, that fired me up so hard. Like, and then she was wearing her little pin all freaking for like months. So, like I said, that work ethic, man.
Shout out, Mom.
It's a different level, but like I said, went to school, freaking, and it's funny that I'm actually doing this because went to school, still didn't know what I wanted to do. I actually found the program at a community college in Bakersfield, and it was all thanks to Dr. Miko.
Okay,
it's Bob Miko, man, and I wish I had this guy's contact. I wish there was some way I could reach out to him.
Yeah,
but he's probably one of the first ones to really put me on.
That's what's up.
And he would do literally this, what I catch myself doing all the time, where I'll start on one topic and you end up with another one.
No, dude, it's all good.
And he would literally just catch himself and be like, I'm doing it again. And
I think it all comes, I'm the same way, it all comes full circle, man, because again, when you set your life on this road and you see like the finish line or like where you want to be, no detour, no speed bumps gonna stop you. And I feel like but I get that vibe from you, man. I feel like you've dialed in your focus, man. Because again, you talking to you now and getting to know you when we were going through our sessions, you know, all of us there. Johnny was there, my wife was there, you know, and we were just talking to you, dude, and it was just a constant, bro. I was learning.
Yeah.
You know, I was learning about me. I was learning about you, and I was learning. It's like, okay, I need to implement this stuff in my life, and I actually felt motivated to get back on the sessions and work out. And eating right has been, you know, tough for me, man, because, excuse me, I'm coming off this crazy, horrible COVID recovery, bacterial pneumonia recovery, dude, and just totally destroyed my body, my eating habits, and you know, so I definitely need to come back, man, and just get back to my normal, healthy self, man. But what it's doing, it's inspiring me, bro. And I think talking to you now, it doesn't feel all over the place. It it feels like where it needs to be, because at some point in our conversation, people watching or listening, I'm like, when you said that spoke to me, you know. And so we get that a lot, you know. And so let's talk about now, because you got your front office, you know, where you massage people. What services do you offer as far as like type of tissue, you know, muscle services, and like the leg compressions and the suction cups that give you 1,000 hickeys on your back?
Yeah. So it's pretty cool because you know, I've been doing it for about 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years now. So I mean, I got a couple miles on my hands, and
That's what's up.
I think over the years you do kind of realize there's like a common pattern amongst us. I mean, all of us are not so different, right?
Yeah.
We all sit in the same kind of chairs. We all drive everywhere. It's really rare that, you know, most of us kind of extend our arm like this all the way full. Not most of us, but if we're right-handed, we don't realize that we're only doing things with our right-handed. Our left side gets atrophied, or vice versa. You do it with your legs, you do it with your hip. The body is just incredible with the patterns that it remembers, and it kind of like molds to. And so just over the years, I kind of feel like I've been fortunate enough to pay attention and then kind of like almost reverse all these patterns, right? Talk to people about seeing what happens, which muscles shorten, why it's important to reverse the patterns, right? Explain to them their perception on muscle memory. Most people, like a lot of these gym terms that are used, that are tossed around the gym, that they should be used all the time, like muscle memory. You know, you can get muscle memory, works good and bad. You know, obviously you do some curls, you know, full range of motion, you get the nice big arms, nice full ones. You do the short ones, you don't really care about your form. You might get those bulky ones, but now your shoulder hurts. So it goes back to either one, reversing those patterns by elongating the muscles and getting that joint to move properly, right? But yeah, for the most part, man, most of us have some crazy tight necks. So the neck is mandatory. You know, you got to make sure the neck stays loose. It's super important to get that oxygen, that blood flow to the brain. You know, anybody that's suffering of headaches and anything, lack of oxygen to the brain is
big key.
Man, and all this is practice in theory. I want to make sure I tell everybody, but out of the 8 years that I've been doing this, it's amazing how many people have ridiculous tight necks, and we all know we do. Yeah. You know, so that's a huge area I would suggest everybody start getting worked on. You know, obviously your back. Everybody has that back pain, so we usually do a little work to the back. The chest, as you can tell, like when we opened up your chest and your whole shoulder loosened up. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about, these big muscle groups that most of us ignore. Yeah. You know?
And that's what you're hitting on with me, man. And you were like...
Yeah. So, man, it's just the body literally starts kind of like, I don't know, enclosing itself. Or like, you know, you start losing range of motion. You stop being able to raise your hand, touch your toes. And so, like I said, at the end of the day, that's what the whole practice is about, reversing these patterns. Yeah. So we either do some static stretching, you know, by lifting your leg up, stretching that hamstring. We'll do a little compression. We have the compression sleeves that you try.
Yeah, those are amazing. Yeah, I've never tried those. I've seen them. I always wanted to try them, man. That was amazing.
Yeah, if anybody has access to those, it's not Rapid Reboot. I'm going to give them the wrong name. Yeah. The Hyper Ice.
Hyper Ice?
The Hyper Ice boots. If anybody has access to them, I would most definitely recommend to try them out. So it's such a simple technique and simple machine, but it works magic, man. Like, I can't tell you how many people have going to downstairs now, the tightness in the legs. Whenever your legs go to sleep, your feet go to sleep, anything goes to sleep, it's like imagine your car lights just blinking, right? Like we can't ignore them. You know, if it says it's time to go get an oil change, it's time to go get an oil change. You know, so yeah, man, we do the cupping, the grassing tool, which is that little metal piece, right, to really break down that scar tissue that's deep, and then you know, the hands. So, and dude, I don't know how to this day, my hands are pretty healthy.
They're pretty healthy?
Oh, dude, yeah. I have some therapist buddies where it was like their hands are just impossible to open.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, man.
Because the same, just kind of.
Just the constant work with your hands or thumbs, man. It's a heavy job, but I mean, I have to realize too, I had to make sure that I was number one.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we talked about that too, about like, you know, I want to be able to give people, you know, the best energy kind of that I have to offer, you know, and I know I don't like being around anybody that's going to give me those bad vibes. So
no, 100%. I'm with you on that. I love what you're saying, man, because again, it's all coming down to, you know, putting yourself first, like your physical, your mental, man, literally your overall health in general, man, because it's important, man, to where I've learned the hard way where it took me almost 6 months where I couldn't use my body. And how much doing the little things we all take for granted, like going up, just jumping up from here, and I go pee, and I couldn't when I was down. I couldn't do that.
One of the most depressing things that I saw my mom go through is not being able to move. You know what I mean? And it's so weird. I never even knew my mom could be depressed until her injury happened, and then just seeing her bed rest, and then obviously the pharmaceuticals, and I got my own personal feelings about that, but I'm not against it or anything, but there's most definitely a time and a place for them. And we're missing a big chunk of education on how to use everything properly. The effort that we should apply as far as like stretching, learning how to move your body properly. It's just stuff we're never taught. I mean, if you go back to the food, right? I think I told you how, you know, in the Mexican culture, you know, if you're not chunky, you're not healthy. Something's wrong.
That is facts, bro.
Something is wrong. So,
get some tortillas in you, man.
Yeah. So, you know, and it's nobody's fault, man. It's, you know, some of us are fortunate enough to have that kind of guidance at a young age, that good information. Financial, you know, education is important too, man. And that's something I had to. I didn't pick that up till I was an adult. Actually, you know what? Shout out to my my ex-wife's parents, because, dude, I mean, I learned so much from that family, and I think just being around them and realizing that they're something I always aspired to be. Like, I remember one time I don't know if they remember, but I remember just looking at them and I was like, man, I've never been around people like you. And I think they thought I was talking about like interracial. And I was like, somebody, like, I've never been around people that are like a family, like
same
setting. You know what I mean? Where it's a team. The kids, man, their kids are, dude, these kids are our goals. You know what I mean? Both kids track stars. Both of them went to crazy university on scholarships. Clean rooms. You know what I mean? Like, we never did our bed, bro.
Same. Well, I never owned a bed. I had a sleeping bag. Like, seriously, my morning consisted of me and my siblings woke up. We all slept in one room, and we rolled up our sleeping bag, put it in the corner, and that was us making our bed.
Bro.
I never owned a bed until I think I was 16, 15, 16.
No, for reals. We had me and my brother, man, because over there you have to rent out rooms. It's really impossible to, you know, stay up on your rent like that, especially for like a housekeeper and a cook. And so my parents always rented out their like spare rooms, and so, you know, sometimes we have to, you know, bite the bullet, and then the whole family slept in one room. But I remember we had this one house, and my parents had a pretty decent sized closet, and the bunk beds fit in there. So me and my brother, dude, it was probably no bigger than a legit jail cell.
Really?
Bro, I'm talking about walking, you know, from.
I've seen them.
Yeah, and so I just remember my mom and dad just threw in the bunk beds in there. They got some of those outside closets to hang their clothes. But that was our room. And me and my brother loved it. We had so much like drawings on the wall that we would just get our pencil and then And
I did. We were the same exact way. We grew up. I'm 100% with you on that, man, because we grew up that way, man. And we did draw on the wall. We didn't have a lot of anything really, man.
Yeah.
But what we had, that's all we knew we had. I didn't know we were poor when we were poor.
yeah, it's funny how that works.
Yeah, and like you said, until we're older, like, damn, I know what my dad did. Why? That's why he was always gone.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it comes down to, you know, again, full circle. It comes down to the work ethic I've seen in him. You know, it pushed me as a father, as a husband, and it's not perfect, man. But I've learned, you know, every day we're growing, and every day we got to attack that part of us that we don't want to work out. You know, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You know, and so. Yeah. You know, so let's get back onto now, because you said you mentioned everything you offer, like in a home massage, cupping, you know, all that. You know, explain cupping real quick.
Oh, so
that was crazy.
Yeah, no, the cups, man, is super traditional. It doesn't get more traditional than the cuppings. The cupping is also a beautiful thing because, man, if talk about like a practice that's amongst almost every culture. You know, I think people gotta remember the U.S. is a fairly new.
Yeah.
Like, you know, identity. So it's like we don't really have too much culture in that sense. But you go to like to any of the Asian countries, the European countries, the Middle Eastern countries, the South American countries, all of them have their own style of cupping. You know, like we call it in Mexico, we call it the velendosas, right? And shout out to all the sobadores and hueseros.
Yeah.
Bro, that's another. I remember just looking at them and I was just amazed. I was like, damn, man, they're whatever they got, I was like, I want that. You know what I mean? And I don't know if they were touched by God or whatever, but dude, some of these dudes and girls get down.
Really?
You know, yeah, like those, because, you know, especially in the Hispanic community, you really don't go to a doctor. You just
we don't.
Yeah, so it's really cool. Like I said, every culture has its own kind of thing, but the cups, you know, the Asian community they've always been using the cups. They've, I think for them, the little grassing tools, they call it coining. And some of my clients have told me, they're like, yeah, my grandma used to just flip me over if I had a cold, and then with a coin, just go to town.
Really?
Yeah, and so it's really cool because I'm like, man, my grandma would just give us Vicks and some Sprite, you know?
Put it on your feet.
And the double sock. You know?
The double sock, you know? But no, I mean, what are the benefits of cupping?
So,
what does it do?
So it's
and
like,
as he's talking, we'll have video of me and Johnny to get.
So I personally, what it does, it forces a circulation in that one area because it usually has a little pump or some kind of like suction apparatus. And what it'll do, as soon as you put the cup, that little plunger or whatever will suck in the air, and then your muscle will lift, right? So it's like if I put my hand, your muscle fibers are like closing fibers.
Yeah.
They're just threaded really close together, right? So imagine if I put the cup on right here and then this just kind of pushed up.
Yeah.
By the time I let it go, these fibers are going to be more stretched out. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Not only that, but then you literally stimulated that muscle. So I like to trace different muscle patterns. So that's why like the design usually looks pretty cool. But yeah, man, it's literally just meant to like jumpstart those muscles that aren't functioning correctly. And to be real, man, most of us think like we look at an anatomy chart and then we're like, oh, that's how my back looks. And dude, no, the back, for somebody that doesn't stretch, train properly, move properly, your back is just like that.
Yeah.
One big piece, right? So if you extend, your whole body rotates. If you bend over, you got to lift the other leg.
Dude, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every limb should have its own sense of identity. And you should be able to control it individually. But that's the kind of stuff we lose. And the cupping, like I said, after I like breaking down the tissue and then applying the cup. So I know there's a couple people that like to use them at home. And it kind of sucks because a lot of people just do the cups by something. But I would strongly recommend do a little work on yourself with one of those percussion guns. So you can use one of those percussion guns, maybe roll out and then apply the cups. And those cups, I mean, they go a long way. So
or hit up Manni,
or hit me up, and we'll do a session. You know,
Yeah.
And I'm all about educating my clients about at home work. I want them to be proactive.
Yeah.
I want them to get better so that they motivate somebody else.
I'm motivated.
You know what I'm saying,
Bro? I love that because again, when I left, I felt energized. I felt like I needed to get back on it. You know, again, like you had mentioned, we train our bodies. You had said, you know, kind of we master the pain. We master, you know, the was it indiscipline of eating or the lack of discipline.
Yeah.
We master all
The
that.
discomfort.
Yeah, you master all that. And I'm starting to see, it's like, man, it took me 40 years of my life to master this type of discomfort eating and all this, so it's gonna, like you said, it's gonna take some work
It's a big business too. Like if you think about it, like every year the car seats, they get better. They got a massager, they got a heater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you don't buy you buy a Mercedes for a Mercedes, but have you ever sat in their seats?
I've seen it.
Damn, dude, it hugs you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The beds, man, the mattresses have gone pricey.
Really?
Well, it's because they know like everybody has this discomfort, and instead of addressing their body, they're addressing the mattress. They're addressing the couch. They're addressing maybe it's their car. So they buy like it's a big business, man. Discomfort at pharmaceuticals.
You were saying that.
Right? So discomfort, it sucks, but it is a big business. And unless we start educating more people and we have more people walking around showing people that it's possible to be comfortable in your own body and there's a lot of work to be done, I think it'll really do some work.
That's so real because it actually reminds me, because I do want to get into the back part of your office too. Your
oh yeah, the gym.
Into the gym. We'll get into that. But you said something right now that I want to talk. Dang, I forgot. I hate that, man. Damn it. Let's go to the gym. Let's talk about the gym. I forgot, but I'll remember it. Go ahead. Talk about your gym and what you offer. Oh,
so
I know. So you saying all that, educate people. I'm sorry, I just remembered. Talking about educating people, letting people know. What do you plan on? You said in April you plan on going digital. You plan on doing a lot of online education and.
Yeah, no. Well, it goes back to like really believing that there should be more people doing this.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I've had for the past couple of years, as people ask me like, oh man, when do you start plan on training people or expanding your practice in some shape or form? And I read this freaking book. I can't even tell you what book it is. Might be The Mastery.
The Mastery.
But they talked about mastering your craft.
Okay.
And I think, man, I hope it wasn't 100,000 hours. It might have been 10,000 hours.
Okay.
Or 10 years. But the hours just seemed too long for me, so I was like, I'm just gonna do it 10 years.
Yeah. Dude, 10 years fly by fast.
Dude, I'm at 8 right now.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Yeah, so 2 more years, and I mean, I'm stuck on that. Either 10,000, 100,000, I don't remember what it is, or the 10 years.
10 years.
But that's what I'm going. And those 10 years, man, I've, I had mentioned like I went through some stuff this weekend. I'm really trying to like I said, man, just grow up. You know what I mean? Like it's you almost have to really be able to like just lower your ego and then really admit to yourself that, dude, it's time to get to that next level of life, and I think I'm about there with the 10 years getting closer, with all this that happened. It's really just time. It was a wake up call.
Yeah, good for you.
And so I'm excited to really venture into that world. So
I mean, I'm down, like we talked about, I'm down to help.
Yeah.
I'm down to be part of all that,
And so I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the growth, and
well, like what are the type of things that you're gonna offer? Is it gonna be like a Patreon where people subscribe to get certain?
You know what? I thought about it too.
I think you should do a Patreon.
What would be like a Patreon?
Patreon is like OnlyFans.
Oh, cool.
OnlyFans is not. But the OnlyFans has a stigma because you know titties and whatever. But the thing is, Patreon and OnlyFans were created for people like you that want to show how to work out. There's a guy a few people I know that have him. He's a street fighter. Well, he does boxing on the streets and just boxes people. Dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The concept is genius.
Yeah, and then like how to barbecue, how to so OnlyFans will go on there and learn how his techniques, and people pay for that.
Yeah.
So OnlyFans or a Patreon, I think you should start an OnlyFans.
Dude, I would most definitely F with the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Like it obviously has its own market and it's huge, man. It would be dumb not to jump on a platform that big. But yeah, man, that's an excellent idea. I would have never thought about that.
Well, then, here you go.
I'm still in that freaking 1990s.
Yeah, you like you send a bird here.
Well, I
Here
know.
you guys, fly. Go send my message. You know.
So, yeah, I haven't really thought it through, man.
I mean, we'll sit down and talk.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, man.
You know, I'm sorry, guys. You guys are listening to us discuss business. You know, but that's what I feel like it is, man. Because I know, again, OnlyFans has a bad stigma on it because everyone thinks it's just all, you know, to check out these hot chicks or whatever. You know, but if you use it for really what it was supposedly designed for, you know, you could actually have people pay subscriptions. You know, you offer a 3-tier course. All right, $15 a month gets you this. $50 a month gets you this. Then if you want the, you know, the platinum package, it's $100-$200. You know, and then you offer videos and services as far as what to do, how to eat, plans, and all this stuff. And you know, and again, people will pay for that, and especially if you have, you know, the content, what you're offering, which I've experienced, dude. I've never experienced a session like that in my life. I had massages. I've had a couple chiropractors, and I never left feeling the way I did, where a few days later I still felt.
Oh yeah.
Well, you got both at the same time.
Oh yeah. I wish we would have got
the
that
massage and you got
the neck when it adjusted,
bro.
That was wild.
That was like because I remember you're all relaxed. I was like, all right, and I just thought you were just gonna massage.
It was such a small movement. You know what I mean? Like people usually think like whenever they hear those crazy adjustments, they imagine like, you know what I mean? Like Steven Seagal. Bro, like honestly, if somebody if somebody comes in to an office and their muscles are restricted, like you have to apply that heavy, you know, press and whatever. But, you know, we had already broken down the traps. We had already broken down the chest. And all it is by then is just literally like lifting your head and then making you look the distance that you're intended to look. Right? Because most
own it.
And because what will happen is we think like, oh, this is it, right? And then what we start doing is we're like, you have to, like, you should not have to rotate your whole body. You know?
Like the Dark Knight, Batman Begins. Like,
so
you know, bro, you are preaching. That is so true, man. Because the way the body is designed, like you said, if people don't believe in God, and if you really do an in-depth study, research on the human anatomy, the body, you know, and what it took for it to be created, you know, there's no denying that there's a God, you know. And the way you said it, you were designed to look, you know, your body was designed to be this.
And even, dude, it is crazy because now we're starting to realize, like, because a lot of us think like, oh, just being able to touch my toes is like the norm. No, the norm is actually your head being able to touch your shins.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? And so, like, but now we're all starting to realize, like, oh, it's not just touching your toes. We can surpass that. Like, it's pretty amazing that we've barely tapped into the body.
That is so true,
with
man.
nutrition, with this, mental health. Mental health, look at how many people are talking about it now. You know, so it's pretty amazing that we're not even close. You know what I mean?
Because your body is designed, you know, like you said, you're not like, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, and you can take that so many ways, man, and like mentally, physically, you know, literally, figuratively, and it's like we're designed to be so much more, but yet we limit ourselves. We put junk in our lives. We put things that are unnecessary that stunts our growth and our strength. And dude, and I feel like this is more than just a practice, more than just actual job, get paid and get the session. No, it's more. You know, when you really dive into your fullest potential, you know, there's nothing that really we can't do. And, you know, I love that concept.
Yeah.
You know,
most definitely, man. I see. I actually, you know, going back to some of the practice that I've been doing it like 8 years, man. Whenever I think about it, it's a long time. You know, there's actually kids that I've worked on. You know, maybe started working on them in middle school or high school, and now they're in college. Or yeah, man. And there's a couple kids like that. Little homie Josh, man. That guy's, you know, he's pretty close to being a legit, I think, orthopedic surgeon.
Really?
Like, dude, and when I first met this kid, track star, just always trying to picking my brain, little questions here or there, but dude, kids like that push me and they fascinate me because I'm like, man, at such a young age, you can really start. I thought I was young, you know, starting like my early mid-20s. But then I meet kids like that are thinking differently and intuitively at like 17, 18, 16. And dude,
That's dope.
I get pumped up, you know, because I'm like, man, these guys are gonna be great.
Yeah.
You know?
And I love that, man, because again, I think it's a different era we live in, man, because when we were younger, we didn't have this mindset. We were taught, don't do this, don't be this, don't, rules. If someone gives me rules or a line that I can't cross, guess what? I'm going to cross and break them rules.
Yeah.
You know, but now it's like everyone has that think for yourself. And I believe that to a certain extent because we do need guidance. You know, and when I was a kid, man, I needed my ass whooped.
Yeah,
you know, my dad spanked me, you know, and so, but again, today's age, man, I feel like when you said you get kids like that, Josh, you know, that just makes a decision at 15. Yeah. You know, because they have Gary V's, they have all these other people that they just like actually resonate with me. Yeah. You know, and they develop a mindset at so young of an age, man. You know, and so I love how you're offering that. You're not just doing it. Yeah. You're not just a person that's just doing it, but you're living it. You know.
Yeah, man. I've been super fortunate. Like I said, all the mentorship I've been able to genuinely say that the people that mentored me in life, like part of it was the willingness that they had. You know, my buddy George. Oh my goodness, cannot forget this guy, man. Talk about like somebody who really like. I can honestly say if it wasn't for this guy, I would not be in the position where I'm at.
George who?
Posadas.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, what a stud! Dude.
Are you still in contact with him?
Oh yeah, dude. George is like, when we met George, let me see, my brother was already working at the gym. He came back from the gym. He's like, I hate George. I hate him with a passion. You're going to hate him too. I remember, I think I was still in my video game days, so I was just like, yeah, man. I was like, don't worry, I hate him already too. Because me and my brother, man, we're dope, you know. And dude, maybe a couple of days pass by, and they're probably laughing at this, but a couple of days pass by, my brother comes back, he's like, George is the greatest. You're like, you gotta come work with him. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. And you know, my big brother, man, this dude will not steer me wrong. You know, and because of those connections, because of George and his mentorship, he was older than us, but he saw the same story, man. Talk about somebody who was even more or less fortunate. And so, dude, just seeing somebody that came from that same the gutter. You know what I mean? That there's nothing we could have told them that he hadn't gone through. And then witnessing somebody like that was older than us, that was, for one, freaking cool, right? I had never met somebody cooler. The way he carried himself, ate clean, you know, talked about presentation, educating your mind, you know, not allowing yourself to fall to these thinking traps of thinking you're less than. Man, I'm telling you, this
Shout
dude,
out George, man.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. And the mentorship, going back to mentorship, and if anybody's listening that has thought about, you know, wanting to help people out, do it, because you never know, you know what I mean, what kind of beast you're going to create, you know, and trust me, you want to be part of that, because by the time it gets there, you want to be able to turn around and be like, hell yeah.
Are you guys listening to this? Are you guys seriously downloading this information?
You guys, I was also raised in a church, so we heard pastors preach 5-8 days a week. You know what I mean? So I think I'm even, dude, going back to all that, right? Being raised Pentecostal, dude, for as much as I, you know, have my own personal feelings about like the whole church and everything, dude, I'm so grateful that there's good people in there too. Because there's also great mentorship in there, man. Some of the nicest people are in there.
Foundation,
you know,
man.
Foundation. So yeah, the Christian background, Pentecostal background that I have, you know, it has its ups and downs, but man, I totally love my mom for keeping us out of trouble. And, you know, and I've realized that when you don't have much, most of the time the church will be there for you. You know?
That's real. And shout out to your mom. What's your mom's name?
Maria Elena Ramos.
Maria, you got a fine young man right here. You did a great job.
Yeah.
Dude, I love how you're just talking about it. Because one thing about Still Here podcast, you know, again, when you connected with us, because you saw Roski. Shout out Roski Doski.
Yeah,
man.
shout out Roski.
You know, you followed us because she shared a clip. And again, man, we love to promote other people's businesses, but I want to get to know the story behind the glory.
Yeah.
You know, and instead of people just say, "Oh, Manni's the muscle therapy or muscle manipulation. He trains you business." Boom. No, man, get to know the guy behind all that.
Yeah.
Then you understand why, and then you understand why and know where it's going and what it's supporting, man. Because like you said, when you decide to either be a mentor or get mentored, either you're going to develop a beast or like something will be developed out of you, man. Yeah. And that will, like you said, take you to the next level. Dude, I feel like that's what you, and essentially using, Christian terms, that you said, you're living your calling.
That's all I knew.
That's your
right?
calling, man.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because, like I said, I think that's part of the reason why I was so lost, just because I had that Christian terminology, that Christian life plan. Like,
yeah,
I was always told, I can't tell you how many times my mom would have the pastors and everything, traveling pastors pray for us, and because of the way my mom was, people would instantly like give her words of affirmation. They're like, your children are going to be great. Your children are going to be great. And I always joke around with people when they're like, why don't you go to church no more? I'm like, man, all those prayers, Jesus won't leave me alone now.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, man. And it's,
I believe it.
Yeah. My mom has us fully convinced that that's our dad. So, so I'm like, try me. Try me.
That's so funny, dude.
So, yeah, man, you start hearing like, oh, father this, father that. So, dude, it's made a great impact in my life. And like I said, it's taken me years to understand it and to find peace within it too.
Yeah.
Because I know I was troubled for a long time with that. But like I said, once you really take the time to grow up and then really see the good in it, like it's.
I think once you make it personal, because
absolutely.
I grew up in church also, man, but I was also doing stupid stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, dude, I try to show people how human I am.
Mm-hmm. Same here, dude.
Like I figured it's when you try to show everybody that you're not human, it's when you you know what I mean? It's
keep reaching, dude, because
yeah, man.
You're right, because I think that's what this show is all about, is that I'm human, man. And at some point in life, I do believe sometimes we use that as an excuse, but the reality is we are, and so to accept that human side of you, say, I'm not going to be at this level because, my dad was a pastor or a worship pastor. I'm this, I'm that. So I have to look like this all the time.
Yeah.
No, man, that's a lot of unnecessary pressure. A friend of ours, we've been hanging out with, and this is kind of like my, synopsis or my interpretation of what they're going through. A lot of stuff happening and a lot of things going on at once. And they're like, man, I just need a drink. I was like, go. And my mind's like, get a drink.
Yeah.
But their fears is that I don't want to get too addicted. I don't want to get too much, because once I go. Once I maybe smoke something or eat an edible, I'll just keep wanting it. And I don't want to put myself in a position where, and it's like this expectation of like failing.
Yeah.
It's like, remove that. Know that that's who you are, man, but doesn't make it define you. That it's just, again, I've learned to actually be the human, man. Because there's one podcast I shot a while back called Be Your Own Hoe. If you're going to be a hoe, be a hoe.
Yeah.
Get it out your system. If you want to be angry and bitter, be it, live it until you find out if this is where I want to stay, then I will. If not, then at least I know that, and I don't want to go back to that. Because you're teaching yourself, like you said, it's a what do you call it? It's mastering something. You either, as a student, you take the class and it's like, nah, I'm not about this. I'm actually going to go do this. Because that taught me that. It made me feel this way, made me act this way, made me be this way. And I feel like when you've learned how to approach it and say no to it or beat it, is when you're growing from it. And that's how I've lived. Like you said, I'm happy to be human.
Yeah.
We started talking about just a couple of weeks, because, dude, we talked about porn. We had this podcast we shot with this guy, or a guy named, just a guy, Jeff, is what it's called. I have it right here in the card. But he was really open about his pornography addiction and really how it destroyed his marriage. It destroyed his business, his job. He lost everything because of the addiction. And I never, bro, I don't remember the last time I watched porn, man, but
I saw something recently and it said when and I wonder if it was him when he said when porn is free, you are the product.
Yeah.
Did he say that?
I think it's so.
I think I might have caught a little skit, but I remember that just hit, and I was like, God damn.
Dude, it's real. You know, so one thing we like to kind of get back to the point is like, since then, my mind has been thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm real open with her about like, you know, because I only know a couple of porn, you know, stars only because like Barstool Sports had Lana Rhodes on.
They're stars.
Yeah.
They're stars.
Yeah,
They're like
so,
millions, billions of people.
I mean,
know
I
them.
never Googled them to look at them, but again, my mind as a man is like, because she's hot.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, once you become a product of that, you're desensitized, and it's like, and you know, we'll have all these teasers we share, but man, that podcast was so real.
Yeah. Well, beauty will make you, you know, on both sides, men and a woman. It'll make you make some of the dumbest decisions ever.
That's so true.
And we're so easy to get hypnotized. I mean, you know, it happened to our boy Samson.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Delilah, bro.
Yeah. Nothing against the Delilahs, but
nothing against Delilah. Biblical Delilah. That one
about
yeah.
the Old Testament.
Yeah, the Old Testament. But you're so right, man. And I love what you said to kind of get back on the point. It's like I'm just human, and I don't mind that, you know. But the thing is, I want to elevate as a human every day, man. I want to grow, and I want to be open to where this show has really helped out a lot of people for being so young.
Yeah,
you know, and they're like, dude, what you're saying is real. Had someone tell me, like, we had our launch party and there was a guest. There's a bunch of guests there, and this individual came up to me. She said, because we had thanked everybody, gave a little speech, and she's like, man, that was the realest shit I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. And I'm like, I was like, what part? What are you talking about? She says, no, everything you said, I never heard a man speak that real.
Yeah.
She says, and that resonated with me. And I was like, I appreciate that. I was like, that's just, we feel like in the time where we're in now is that people are looking for something real. Yeah. When you go on social media, you see all these hot chicks, you see all these, you know, these beefed up meathead dudes, and it's like, perfect is that
or
the perfect life? And it's not. And people are connecting with guys like you, me, and, you know, my wife, and they're just like, that's me.
It's funny that you actually said that. I think I was chasing that.
Yeah.
And you know, shout out to my ex-wife for dealing with me when I was such a young man, such a young boy. But you know, got married. We had the baby out of wedlock, and you know, both raised in a Christian household. So we kind of felt like we had this obligation and kind of like path set up for us.
Yeah.
And so you know, we obviously went ahead and got married, and you know, we tried to do the right thing. And you know, after a couple years, I mean, I had to really realize like when I had to go back and realize like it was the whole marriage is going south and we're most definitely going to go our separate ways. I personally had to realize like, man, nobody really taught you how to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially with like, I mean, I'm not throwing jabs at my dad. Me and my dad rekindled our relationship not too long ago and love the guy now, you know, understanding and forgiveness. But, you know, when you're raised around an individual like that, like, you're not taught how to be a man.
Yeah.
You think, you very much so believe you're a man. You know what I mean? Because you have to endure this and that. But nah, man. Being a man goes above being physical for sure. And I've had to learn that. You know what I mean? I obviously, you know, I build myself up because, I was a product of being bullied. No confidence. Really upset with the world. And so, you know, I build up myself to kind of like have this kind of like defense, and I always thought like, oh man, nobody's gonna mess with me, nobody's gonna. But dude, being a man, it's much more than just being physical. And I've personally had to learn that the hard way. I've personally had to realize like the ego is a mother effer.
Yeah,
you know, and that's something I've had to, you know, I've had to most definitely grab that and
crucify. Like the Bible talks about crucify. You know, that man. Flesh. And you know what, dude, I feel like just again, we've only known each other for like a couple of weeks, you know, like this is our second, you know, third encounter, you know, together, and, you know, or at least in person, you know, talking to you now, bro, you said things like I love my pops. Yeah. Like I said, my pops is the hardest working, rocking, while hocking I know, you know, but again, growing up, I talked to my dad on his birthday back in March and early March. And we had this conversation. I was like, look, Pop, I know you weren't the best example as a father, but I, right now, as a 40-year-old man, I do not hold it against you. I have no grudges. You know, you weren't taught to be a certain way as a kid. You saw your dad, you know, being, you thought, well, that's what a man is, and that's what I thought. So it's my decision. It was my choice to follow that when I know I could have maybe improved, but there's no excuse. But Dad, that's not your fault.
Yeah,
you know, you did what you could.
That kind of stuff, man, weighs. I didn't know that weight that I had before I forgave my dad. I didn't know what that weight felt like off, because I've always had that resentment and that anger towards him, and even alcohol, thinking alcohol, it was alcohol's fault. And dude, even with like the divorce, right? There's obviously I had some resentment, and dude, I think once I started going down that rabbit, and then COVID hit, so like I couldn't work, and I didn't realize, like, damn, my drug of choice was work. You know, like, dude, there's something about work that will get you in trouble.
Yeah.
And I had been warned many times by, you know, high value like lawyers, doctors.
Yeah.
You know, Manny, spend time with your family. Spend time with your family. Invest. But like I said, man, that resentment, that hate is just way so much. And even, man, right now, man, I'm there's a couple hiccups with you know, me and my son's mom, and dude, I can only go so long having that resentment because I know better. You know what I mean? And it goes back to that ego thing.
Yeah.
It maybe takes me a day or 6 to try and, you know, get this. Yeah,
I feel you, man.
But it's that weight of resentment or whatever unnecessary feeling, it weighs, man, and it will slow you down. You know, you lose track of days.
That like you said, that's mastering the pain.
Yeah.
That's mastering, that's training yourself to feel, think, and be that way, man. And, you know, like, again, I'm vibing off everything you're saying, man, because, again, it's relatable.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of men, you know, young men like you, men like me, if I'm old, you know, that aren't talking or speaking about this. You know, my dad, like you, hardcore Mexican, you don't cry.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you don't talk about your feelings. You don't talk about how you think and, you know, what offended. You just either beat someone's ass or you build a wall and you build it thicker, you know. And, you know, now it's not like I want to be emotional and all crying and let it out, you know. No, man, I want to be human. I want to be open and honest. Like, look, I'm like you, bro.
Yeah,
Anybody watching and listening, we're like you.
Yeah.
You don't have to hold yourself to an expectation, especially to the expectation and the bullshit of social media.
Yeah.
You know, because, again, we're in that age where we had no internet. We had no, you know, we actually grew into that. We weren't born into social media, internet, dude. So we knew what it was to be just us.
Like, do you remember Pogs?
Pogs, hell yeah.
That's
Boom.
that's how old we are. I can't.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna Google it right now.
I was thinking, man, we should just get some pogs and
I know.
We should bring it back.
Bring it back. Well, that's what I'm saying. And marbles, you know, walking around the big old pocket full of marbles, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, and you pull out those big old steelies, you know, and just obliterate a marble. But dude, that's the age we come from.
Yeah.
You know, so now, you know, you get kids and, you know, the suicide rate because of social media, because of the false expectation of what you think you should look like, what you should have, or where you should be. Dude, I hate social media. Social media has ruined this world, but when you take advantage of it the way it needs to be, or not the way it needs to be, when you take advantage of it the way you know it can be, to use it as a powerful tool, you'll get shows like this. You'll get content.
Yeah, to help, man. It's, you know, going literally to what you said, man. I always thought it was impossible for me to be where I'm at, like where I'm at right now. I'm no joke. I'm just living life now because I had no expectations to get here. So at this point, I'm literally just enjoying it because
Good for you.
I was never supposed to make it this far, you know. And once I realized that, man, and I started leaning on gratitude, like, man, that shit is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because that will take you out of any freaking cloudy night or cloudy day. You know what I mean? Where you start leaning on that gratitude, and you start really seeing all the things you do have and other things that you're being blessed with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, gratitude is it's most definitely one of those things that's helped me out big time. And like I said, just really, the more content that you have out there to help somebody, the better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the way, you're right, social media should be used.
Yeah, and it's recommended, but again, we as humans, we as individuals, man, have that choice. Yeah. People want to show their titties and ass, and man, go ahead, man. Yeah. But me, I've learned not to just look no more. Just like, to me, it's like I want to be different.
Yeah, the body, man. You start seeing it over and over. Like, I've already been desensitized to the human body for sure. But it's one of those things where you see it over and over. And it's funny, too, because I get paid literally to tell you what's wrong with your body. Mm-hmm. Most people, they look at, like, if it's some dude that's just kind of really thirsty and see some woman with, like, huge breasts, instantly, they're just like, oh, this and that. But I'm like, dude, it's so crazy that we objectify them. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, women do it to men, too, and men do it to men. So everybody does it to everybody, but it's fascinating how if we don't get a grasp on that, we will fall victims and we will fall prisoners to that concept of like, oh, if they look good, they must know good. Yeah. And that's not, I've witnessed some of the prettiest people do some of the ugliest things.
Preach on it.
And I think that was Kanye who said that.
Yeah.
So, gotta give him respect.
Bro. Yeah, dude, shout out Gay, bro. I don't care what's going on, the beef, but dude, I support. Let him be a dad. Yeah, I support Ye, man. I do, man.
Dude, it's tough. His life is most definitely an influence, and I think more people need to look at his life and then just learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think that's what he's trying to do too. I bought one of those stem players. My son loves it, man.
Dude, I want to get one of those.
Music.
Man.
I can't believe this guy or whoever created it with him. They've completely changed music. Cause my son will be playing the song, and each button does different things. One will repeat the same line. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then you can let that go and go straight to the beat. You can slow something down. You can take the drums. You can take the voice rap over it. My son is literally constantly playing with that. And I'm like, dude, this is music engineering.
Dang.
Little thing about this big. They're changing music. Like it's. So yeah, man. We won't. I mean. He's most definitely, got his own situation going on, but there's stuff to learn.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, absolutely. We're human.
Yeah.
We're human, man. He's no different.
Yeah, I can't stand the double standard of, Kanye's abusing Kim and Kanye's this. It's like, nah, man, she's doing the same. It's back and forth. So again, like Tom Brady said it best, because I don't know if you saw the Man in the Arena. Bro, you need to watch that if you haven't seen it.
I've heard about it.
Bro, I got to rewatch it, man, because Tom Brady was at this point when he was just like, man, just mind your business.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And that's what people need to do. Social media has made it to where we feel like we have the privilege of knowing everybody's business, that it's our business.
Yeah.
Dude, no, man, hell no, man. I can't stand, mind your business.
Yeah.
And again, I like it to keep, like, people need to keep that same energy. Yeah. I had an issue where somebody made a comment on my wife's post a while back, and it was with a family member, but he made this comment. It was very direct.
Yeah. I
see him in person, I snap. I was like, oh, you little bitch, you don't have that same energy? It's different on social media than it is in person. People forget. And again, I don't want to get all crazy and all that, but again, that's what social media has done.
Yeah.
And again, to where if we didn't have that problem, and if we were just going to newspapers and watching it on TV like we used to, no one would care. Yeah. And so again, social media has messed up our minds, our brains, like it's our business when it's not, to worry about what other people are doing and saying and thinking, have an opinion, and so it all comes down to, man, what are you doing for you and what are you doing for the world around you?
Yeah.
Your own world.
Yeah.
How are you making a life impact rather than just a talking impact? It's what you're living, and again, I like to come back full circle, dude, just what you're saying. With the body, and we've trained ourselves to be certain ways, and there's nothing wrong with it. Now it's time to undo it.
That's the cool thing, was when you start with your body, you realize how much work there is to be done.
Oh my God, dude!
And then you gotta mind your own fucking business.
Oh man, this dude's preaching.
I'm sorry, I'm cussing mom.
Yeah, she hears me all the time.
I'm fired up.
I'm fired up because you're so right. When you, man, go to that camera, Lord. Look, I'm telling you guys, when look, here's the reality. When you take the mirror that you're showing everybody their problems, when you learn to just do this, be like, nah, let me look at that mirror myself, man, you'll start really living.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough flipping it over. Nobody likes doing that. Like I said, Man, I'm probably the one who makes myself feel the most silliest, you know. And that is, I'm a big believer in personal responsibility.
Facts.
And you know, if you feel like you're acting silly, you are. You know, and so, man, yeah, going back to the basics and working on yourself. Right. So,
Dude, I love it.
yeah, man.
Like, let's get into now, like you said, work on yourself, the gym in the back. Bro,
yeah.
you got a dope setup.
Oh, thank you, man.
Again, everybody, as we're talking, we're going to get into, you guys will see the B-roll of Manni's gym, just to kind of see what he offers and what he has. But kind of go over that. If you're obviously, like, I don't know, like you said, you want to pull back maybe clients because you want to spend time with your son, but that's why the digital.
The training stuff is actually, it's really cool, man. So the way everything kind of meshed together with my life and everything, with the training and the therapy, let me see. I think I started trying to lose weight when I was like 18, 19. I was a chunkster, man.
Yeah.
Like bad skin, everything. And
Dicky boy, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah. And then, you know, I got into the kinesiology thing, not really knowing what I want to do. Then I went to school for massage therapy. Then I continued doing some more continuing education, different modalities and stuff. But in the middle of that, I remember my brother was he met George working for him, and then he was like, "Dude, you gotta come work with him." And that's what I did, man. I kind of put the whole massage thing on hold because I didn't know what I wanted to do, man.
Yeah.
I at the end, I honestly thought, I was like, "Dang, here's a couple grand wasted, time wasted. I don't know what I'm gonna do." So my brother and George hired me. I got to be a trainer, I think, for like 9 months, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Like, I didn't realize how much I like being around people, and I was never a people person, man. Like I said, overweight, no confidence, and you know, my cure was actually more people being around me, positive people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's where I started realizing, like, holy shit, the vibes. You know what I mean? You feed off of them. You want to do more for your people, and so started doing the training. Did that for about 7 or 9 months, and then killed it. They gave me my salary job, so I was kind of proud about that.
Nice, dude.
And started managing it. And when I started managing it, it was really cool because it was more of like making sure that my trainers hit their goals. So now whenever I really think about it, I'm like, man, my job was to be the ultimate hype man. You know? But I also had my own personal goals I had to hit. So, and my goals were a little bit higher than theirs. So
It has to be.
yeah. So I would hit mine out the park. And then after that, it was just like, dude, let's motivate you. Let's see where we're at. And dude, it's probably one of the funnest jobs I've had since then. I learned so much.
How old were you at that time?
21,
Nice.
21 maybe. I did that till I was 24, 23. So I did that for maybe 3 years. I loved it. Loved all my clients that I came across. Learned many things from a lot of them. You know, I realized that was the first time that I was very lucky and grateful that I have access to different people from different walks of life, because that's very powerful, man.
Yeah.
And I had to realize how fortunate I was, because there's a lot of people in this world that have to go to work in the cubicle. They stay there, they don't make any more contact with anybody else, and they go their whole life like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a cubicle. Maybe you go to, like, you know, you're a teacher, but that's all you do. You're not amongst people that are going to help you grow. And so I saw this as an opportunity to expand my knowledge, expand what I know, ask questions, you know. So I learned a lot, man. I remember even, you know, past girlfriends, like I had to be realistic and then be like, oh, damn, like there's like certain, I remember the first time they ordered me a steak, like, right. I was like, dude, I don't even know how to order steak properly.
Same. Yeah, dude, you're, man.
So all those things, man, I had to learn gradually, but I had to be willing to, like you said, flip that mirror and be like, dude, you don't know shit. You know, now it's time to like learn from people that are here. And, you know, going back to the whole situation with God, man, if you really believe that he has a plan, I think that's when you broaden your eyes and you're just like, oh, they're here to help me. They're here to help me. They're here to help me. And so, yeah, man, I think from training all those years, I picked that up. I was actually, because I had already done the mobility stuff and I was on salary, once I would get my job done, I actually had all this free time to do as I wanted. So I would actually start stretching people. Oh. So people would come in like from other gyms, they'd be like, oh, I have knee pain. I heard you can help me. And I'd be like, all right. So I had a little stretch room in the back and go back there for like 10, 15 minutes, do some standard basic stretches. And dude, these people would not leave my gym.
Yeah, well, I remember you
Sure.
stretching me and Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny was like, you had him full V split.
Oh, yeah.
And it was
Yeah,
like,
They were, dang, Johnny.
yeah, bro, I'm actually kind of turned on right now.
that guy got freaking mobility for days.
Dude,
you know?
yeah. And I remember you stretching me, man. That was like, I was like, yeah, I don't stretch that far, bro. You know, but you knew the point where I had to stop, but you knew.
Yeah.
You know,
One interesting thing is you had mentioned something saying that just because you're flexible doesn't mean you're like, what was like when you go to therapy,
like not
what
in
do they
pain,
say
like
being
hyper flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it goes, dude. It's so weird how like right now she's pointing that out. It goes back to like somebody that fakes being happy or that looks happy.
preach on.
Right? Like same thing, man. There's a lot of my clients, man. They're hyper flexible and it's driving them crazy because, they'll be like, let me see, touch your, do you go to the doctor? And they're like, let me do some basic muscle testing. Touch your toes. They can do it. And they're like, what's wrong? Well, my back hurts. Like just staying. But they're like, they shouldn't hurt because you look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's that internal, dude. Somebody has to sit down, talk to you, do a little more work with you. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's people like that are so hyper flexible that, man, it sucks, man, because they're flexible, but they have that deep pain.
Yeah.
And it's from the muscle fiber. Same thing, man. Those muscle bellies, that's where all that pain is locked up. So you got to go in there and actually work it.
And if that's you guys, y'all need to hit up Manni.
Yeah, no, the body's amazing, and for as really similar bodies we all have. Everybody has their own unique kind of like code.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's really cool to help people kind of like, break that code down, show them where to start. And like I said, just that hope, man. Hope goes a long way. So,
Dude, I feel like with what you offer, in your business and we're really in your practice, you offer that hope, man. You actually, to me, when I left, I felt motivated. I felt like I had a chance. I had hope, man, because especially coming off of my sickness and what happened to me twice, even now talking to you, dude, I'm getting back to what's familiar.
Yeah.
I remember the familiarity of being healthy. I remember what saved my life was my health. I remember that hope, and I remember now even talking to you and just the experience I had, getting worked on, getting a session in, man, was very beneficial, man. And I think anybody watching and listening, all his information will be in the description. We're going to have teasers. I'm not ending. I'm just letting people know that there's going to be a way you guys can get a hold of Manni and, set up sessions.
The training, man, we got to get you to come in for some training too. Cause the training, man, that's one thing that I most definitely have to use on myself. Like, cause obviously it's a manual work, a lot of moving, a lot of lifting and pressing and whatnot. So, there was like 4 years where I was kind of really doubting that this was for me. Like massage therapists, I think their lifespan is 4 to 6 years. Nothing too long.
Past that.
Yeah, man. So, and like I said, man, people's hands are destroyed. But yeah, I think after the third or fourth year, I was really trying to decide if this was something I was going to continue. And that's when I decided to address myself first, right? And really inform myself on the mechanics I was using, how to build a custom plan for what I was doing. And then from that, I was already training, but from that, it really gave me a taste of like, oh, what is it that people really need out of training? And it's the mechanics and the mobility. Nobody's ever really taught the blueprint of how to hold a bar. You know what I mean? We have that meathead mentality, which is nothing wrong with it because that got us all to where we're at right now.
Yeah.
But it's 2022. Foods change. Mental awareness has changed. Mechanics and mobility have to change.
Yeah.
We can no longer pretend like this right here will give us a wide back. This right here will, just build. It's much more than.
Yeah.
It's time to ask questions and it's time to just be realistic, man. Because the body, man, it's cool because none of us realize our true potential until we start moving the arms the right way. And you see fantastic athletes. Whenever I see like a Usain Bolt run,
Tyreek Hill, boy.
Dude, their mechanics
That
to
boy
me,
right there.
the way the hip shifts with the knee to the ankle to the foot to the toe, you can clearly tell they've mastered it compared to somebody else. And when you master it, it becomes a breeze. It almost looks like you're not done reaching your peak yet. Because the word plateau that they love saying in the gym, guess why? Because you can only run your body in such a bad way for so long before you hit that plateau, right? Your body's not meant to plateau at all, right? So that word plateau, if you've caught yourself saying like, oh, I've plateaued, there's more that you can do. Trust me. You know what I mean?
No, you're right, because I do need to getting back into that training, man, because I want to be around for a long time for my kids, man, my family. And, you know, right now my hardest thing is like my knees are just so shot.
Yeah.
You know, like if I get up, my knees will just they'll buckle from under me, man. It's like,
well, I told you that's the reason why I started the whole hot yoga thing too. Shout out to Blue Moon. Dude, that studio is most definitely.
Is that local here?
Yeah, okay. I'll most definitely probably never stop doing that hot yoga. I'm amazed and shocked actually at how much it's changed my life, my mental state, and for sure my physical abilities. Because you know, I like to think that I stretch all the time, but oh boy, that's a big slice of humble pie. You know.
Boy, I'd probably be farting.
Oh,
like,
bro.
My body's not used to type of.
I think
pressure.
I've actually like laid down to take a rest, and I'll wake up and I'll be like, the class ended.
Yeah.
They'll text me back to church when I used to just knock out during prayer, and I'd be like, oh man.
You wake up under the pew.
But dude, yeah, all that stuff, man. Like I've had to learn, like my body. I didn't realize in my mind I had mentally plateaued myself, and I started doing that where they push you, they put you in that discomfort where you can still do it, but yeah, man, it's time to get over those plateaus.
Well, talk about that. Let's talk about that. Mentally plateauing. How do you? Because again, when you work out, you're like, as you know, I'm working out, I'm trying to get strong, but I plateaued. Yeah. Or I'm stretching, I'm doing all this, I plateaued. Trying to do this, but I plateaued, and I've, you know, because of my mental health, you know, mental plateau.
Yeah,
you know.
no, I feel like
how does one?
For me personally, for me personally, and I hope this helps a lot of people. But like I said, man, gratitude. Gratitude is it's so wild, man, because I can honestly say I was chasing the wrong things when I was younger. I think I was chasing the riches, and I was chasing the cars. I was chasing the women. You know, just everything you would think that makes you successful, right? Yeah. Because I didn't know. I genuinely did not know what success was. Like I never even thought it was at my grasp, you know. And so it's something that I've had to most definitely, you know, you work your ass off to get a lot of these things, nice things. But I think once you start realizing, like, man, I'm still in that same level of sadness or there's some kind of disturbance.
Yeah.
Like, when you start questioning your peace, right? And you're just like, I should be at peace because I have my new PS5. I should be at peace because I have my moped.
Yeah.
I should be at peace because I got the new iPhone. And when that doesn't work no more, like, you know what I mean? You need something real, not something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like something physically that you think will sustain you.
Yeah, man.
You need something to sustain you past the physical.
I was so wrong. And it was hard to admit it, man.
Dude, I'm preaching right now too.
So that gratitude for sure. I think gratitude, love. I can't tell you what my son's hug does for me. Like, you know, man, being a father is probably the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I'll most definitely be grateful for my son's mom till the day I die. You know, it's something I've had to most definitely learn to appreciate her sacrifices for sure as a woman that had the baby, and then witnessing her carry the baby for 9 months. Dude, like I said, I'm human, and I think I always forget those kind of things, and I'm kind of glad I chose to do this kind of stuff, because I'm genuinely getting like another relapse, another dose of that guilt. Because dude, the child labor, mother.
Yeah, I bet when she's 3 times with her,
yeah, man.
I respect. Man, she's tough. My wifey is tough, man, and we had medical issues with our first child. because come to find out, she only has half a uterus. Yeah. So she wasn't even supposed to have kids. So all 3 of our kids are miracles, man. But there was no way possible for her to push out kids.
Yeah.
But she did it, and our oldest, we notice now because the struggles and the stuff happened to her when she was born. We're seeing it now, man. But because she's still here, my wife, when we had Kehlani, she said she don't remember, but she almost didn't make it.
Yeah.
She blacked out. She thought it was. But you were blacked out. You weren't fine. You were gone for a minute, and she's like, no, it wasn't. But I was there. They called me.
It's
And
horrible. It's
crazy.
I think when my son's mom was giving birth, I think I had like a anxiety attack because I remember just being stone cold frozen, and I think my mother-in-law sat me down. And she's like, "You okay?" But it's like, I mean, that's probably the first time I realized that I'm not the man that I thought I was. Right? Because in there, at that moment, you think, "Oh, I'm gonna go in there." She needs me to hold her hand.
Give me a boy.
Yeah, dude. And I found out real quick. I don't know shit.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, you have to lean on that gratitude. Everybody sacrifices, especially when there's a baby involved. Like I said, I'm most definitely human. I constantly forget that there's 2 of us, and that defense wall, it goes up real quick when it involves my kid, and I think. Now too, I've always been proud of the co-parenting, relationship that we've had, and I think it's super crucial to just keep that, set an example,
Yeah.
and like I said, man, I fall short of it all the time, and I know I can do better for sure, but that's something I try to preach to a lot of people about co-parenting, because the babies do remember, man.
Yeah.
And if you have kids, that's what we're here for, man. They're our disciples,
Yeah, well, you're right. I remember growing up, my parents divorcing, man. There was no co-parenting. It was chaos, man. Yeah. It was chaos. Me and my siblings just, as children, we never had peace.
Yeah.
Never. And it was both sides, pick sides, pick this. My mom, being an addict, and her addiction led to other, lifestyles, prostitution, and all this stuff, man. And a lot of people trip out. Even close friends of ours don't know like what my mom did and went through, or what she went through and put us through. But it was tough, man, to have different co-parenting, man, because these, the lifestyles are different.
Yeah, you get the best example, man, and that's the thing too, man. It's so crazy how I really feel like I had that yin and yang with my mom and dad, and it sucks, man. But like I said, I think going through that hardship in life really allowed me to be the man I am today, or try to get to that point, and it's a shame, that hopefully we're the last generation that has to go through that crazy hardship, because I do see it change, man.
Yeah,
I've never felt the need to like raise a hand on my child or anything like that. It's always like, dude, come over, let me get a hug.
Yeah.
Let's figure this out. And man, whenever I ask him if he just needs a hug and he says yeah with an angry face, I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
And I give him that little dogging face too. I'm like, come on. And he gives me the hug, man, and it's night and day.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you the joy that it brings me. And then the other thing too that I'm like, man, it's not an ass whooping all the time. These kids, a lot of them just need love.
Yeah. You're right, man. My son is that same way, man. My son always needs love. He wants love. He wants hugs. Yeah. He's like, Dad, hug, Dad. He'll come, Dad, I just want a hug.
Yeah.
All the time, man. I give him hugs and he squeezes me, and he just always, every day, dude. Almost, how many times a day, Laura?
Oh. It's almost every time I'm in the kitchen, just, Mom, you look like you need a hug.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hug. He's like, and
I need a hug, Mom. I was like, you didn't hug me today, Mom.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome, man. I'm telling you right now, it's even crazier with what I do too, man. It's really sad that some people will actually admit that being touched or anything like that is something they're not accustomed to. You know what I mean? So, dude, those hugs, you got to cherish them, and give them out as much as possible.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like as parents, we've we've learned that, man. And I've said it a lot of times here, man. When I went in the second time, you know, when I was going to the hospital, I thought I was going to die. I thought I was done. I wasn't coming back. So I had the conversation with my family, apologizing, like, look, if you guys ever felt that, not if, but that if I made you feel uncomfortable, made you feel like there was an expectation on you because of me, I apologize. Don't feel like you need to be a certain way to make me happy or act a certain way being happy. Or if you think, oh, is dad happy? Okay, then I'm happy. Or is dad mad? Okay, then I'll live in fear. I apologize. Like, no, man, forgive me for putting you guys on eggshells in your own kingdom.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. No, for sure, man. It's a hard one because as parents, like that's the heaviest guilt, you know, knowing that you failed them. Especially if, like I said, man, if you've gone through that hardship of not having both parents fully present, you know, it weighs a lot on kids. Like I'm telling everybody, like if you're in one of those situations where you don't realize that you're causing damage to your kids, you are. Like you are, and trust me, it takes a lot to kind of undo those patterns, and you're very lucky if you come across people that are willing to help you get out of those patterns.
And that's mastering that pain.
Yeah, man.
Mastering that.
It's tough because I see it all the time, man. You know, I still have like the homies that I shouldn't be hanging out with, and you know, whenever we do hang out, I'm glad now that I know the difference, and you know, it's usually words of affirmation that we have. You know, them asking me like, "Oh man, I see you hanging out with your kid. I want to do that."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You can." You know what I mean? You get your babies. Like, so it's really cool to help other friends in need too, of not even being soft, but just being real.
Yeah.
The real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because that word is thrown around so much.
Yeah.
Real, be real. Let's be real.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like it's not so much let's be real, let's live it.
Yeah.
Live it. Let's not talk about being real. Let's just live it.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like living is so much. I think you get more out of it, man, because again, you're not just doing your practice and just because it's a job. You're living it. You're living your brand. Live it. You know, I'm not living Still Here. I'm not talking about Still Here podcast just because it's still here or it's a thing to do. No, I'm still here because God has a plan, and there's actually conversations like this that need to get out there. You know, content that needs to be promoted because, again, man, this is a lifestyle. It's living it rather than just saying, "Oh, I'm real. I'm real. I was born real. No, man, you're not. You know, because your life is saying something else. You know, you want to talk about a standard, but you're not living it. And that was my problem when I first joined the podcasting world. I was saying a lot of stuff, but after when cameras are off, I was an idiot. Then I started to realize, like you said, turn the mirror around.
Yeah, man.
It's like, no, dude, you're an idiot. You're not. You know, that's me.
I've tried to be like as authentic as possible. Like even with my tattoos, you know, like I remember when I first started doing my hands, I was just like, oh man, I was like, this is the beginning of a new person, right? Like I'm gonna try and be as no shame in who I am, no shame in what I want to do and what I believe. But that doesn't mean like I don't continue to try and be a better human, because that's the thing, man. If you're doing all these things that have these stereotypes attached to them, but you're not improving your life and you're not living like you should live as an example to show people like it doesn't matter if you have tattoos, or it doesn't matter if you have long hair, or it doesn't matter if you live in Section 8. Be a good human being. You know what I mean? That's and judge people by their character. Right?
My man is poor
like
right now.
That's something I had to learn because I didn't like for sure I didn't like who I was. You know what I mean? Because like I didn't know who I was, and I had I think most definitely too, like, man, I remember in the 90s, man, my dad, the Black community and the Hispanic community did not get along, you know, and people, I don't think they like talking about it, but dude, and I remember like it was bad. Like, so the fact that, you know, we have our Black friends and I'm sure some of my Black friends, whenever I talk to them about it, they're like, yeah, I remember my dad coming back talking about beating up Mexicans and Mexicans jumping them. Yeah. And dude, I remember that vividly. So growing up without a dad, always like alcoholic and all that, you have an identity problem. And I realized that. I think I realized that after the divorce. You know, because I was like, okay, someone went wrong. Yeah, you know what I mean. And like I said, turning the mirror, man, dude. And I had to realize, like, dude, you have an identity problem. You got to be like, if you can't be real with you, like,
So, yeah,
you can't be real with anybody.
Yeah, and you can't expect everybody else to be that for you too.
So my
You don't know how to recognize it.
Yeah. So my transformation picture from when I was married to now is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, nah, it's most
Hey,
definitely
send it to me.
I'll
I'll put it up. We'll put it up on it.
Yeah, no, but it just goes back to like being authentic to yourself and being at peace, you know, being the real you, and then finding yourself in whichever way possible, but being a good human being, you know. And it's tough. It's not easy at all. I'm not saying it's easy at all. Don't.
Yeah.
It's actually harder to be a good person, right? Because there's a lot of those bad habits that we have at first that we can't shake off, and
You've mastered those bad habits.
yeah. So that's the hard part is realizing when you're going back to your bad habits, and like I said, man, it might take 1, 5, 6, 7 days, but you gotta. There's no excuse to not be able to, you know, get your hands on that. Whether it's your ego or your frustration or your temper, you know, I know a lot of us, man, we have that crazy temper. It's hard to shake off and not to act on it. Too,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, that's so real because again, I'm correlating all this to what you do.
Yeah.
Because again, this is you, you know, thawing out, you know, spiritually, mentally, emotionally.
Yeah.
You're thawing out all those knots, that scar tissue that was put on you, you put on yourself
Through years,
the
too.
damage.
Stress. It doesn't have to be exercise that does
Yeah.
this to you. It can literally you be getting in a fight with your spouse for
Your-
10, 15 years.
Yep.
And all you do is crunch up. And maybe it's at work. You're just so frustrated with your boss, you just keep your head down. Dude, all those patterns, your body accumulates these patterns and it memorizes them. So, you know, it's pretty nuts, man, what life will do to the body. You know, the body will mess itself up on its own if you're not intuitive and you don't put the effort, man.
Dude.
Effort is key.
Man, y'all have no idea what you guys just heard.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like I can talk all day about this stuff, man, because you are speaking on something I feel like this world needs to hear. You know, we all need to hear it. I need to hear it every day.
Dude, I'm
know?
telling you, like the reason I'm so strong about this is because it's stuff that I have to practice daily. Like I'm a victim of my own stupidity. You know, like
Same. I'm with you.
It's so tough. It's so tough, and then the shame and the guilt that comes along with it. And you know,
like you said when earlier before we started recording, you mentioned something over the weekend.
Yeah,
I can hear it in your voice. I
Yeah,
can see it in your demeanor. You know,
Good.
but the thing is, that's not who you are.
Yeah.
You know, we don't. Again, people are watching and listening. You're not defined by your mistakes, but you can let you define what those mistakes can do for you. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Where's the offering basket, man? Because I'm
Absolutely.
preaching.
Hey, we're gonna get that offering basket right
Come
now
on.
in 5 minutes.
Yeah. My Cash App's on the bottom. I don't even know what I said. I blacked out.
Hey, do they have Cash App and Venmo logins? And I wouldn't
Probably.
be surprised,
Probably.
and I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, probably. But bro, that's so real because again, we let our mistakes define us, but
Yeah.
we can flip the script, man, and change it. And you know, man, bro, I think this is due for a part 2 because I definitely want Johnny on. Shout out to you, Johnny Fisher. I love you, man. We're praying for you. You know, man, you're a good dude, man. You deserve the best, bro, because you're a hard worker. You're a great guy. You know, but we definitely need like a part 2 to come on. I know Johnny has a lot to talk
Oh yeah,
about.
no, that guy was. I was feeding off of that guy's energy. I was like, you know what? I have friends. I have 2 types of friends. I have my friends that I would say like normal level of censorship, like they know what to say and what not to say. And then I have the homies that I love to hang out with where they have no filter.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And I can appreciate with somebody that's real with their filter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I might not like everything that they say, but at least I know I'm getting authentic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can bounce off of this wall that's flat.
Yeah.
You know, and it's reciprocate. And
Johnny's
that's that guy.
He's a good dude,
I was
man.
like, he's going to push me to say some stuff that my mom's not going to be happy.
Yeah. Well, I love that about him too because he'll say things that I'm like, well, I'm like good with it because again, man, man, my goal for like Johnny here, at least person for me in the show, is that I want people to know Johnny the way I do.
Yeah.
And he does that on the camera, through people's phones. And dude, and I feel like this conversation can be extended when we plan a part 2.
Yeah, no, I have, man, I can talk for days. I'm telling you, being in that church, listening to those sermons.
Yeah, something to talk about.
Bro, that stuff sticks, man. That's why I said, man, shout out to the churches. I know, like, I'm not the biggest fan, but do shout out. Same. Because, like I said, I can be real about it, and I know when I'm wrong, and I was most definitely wrong about thinking that it wasn't necessary. But those stories, those life lessons, the David and Goliath stories, the Samson stories, all those things, man, have genuinely got me to where I'm at, and I can't deny it. You know,
it's foundation, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we have that foundation, man, we can build on it all we want. But at the end of the day, when we know it shouldn't be there, we can tear it all down, start over, and know that, you know what? Go back to your foundation.
Yeah.
Go back to what originally made you, the person you are, morals and all that stuff, man. Once you go back to your foundation, man, you can always start over.
Yeah.
And so we do this thing on the show. We kind of give our last words, last thoughts, maybe promote your business more. Let everybody know, again, where they can find you, who you are, what to expect about your practice in the coming, this coming year, being online, digital more. And any last words or thoughts of encouraging people watching or listening?
Anybody dealing with, pain gets everybody. Pain is universal. Pain doesn't care what walk of life you're on. Like, but I'll tell you this right now, once you get a grasp on it and you get some kind of help, it will most definitely make life a little bit easier. And that, I think that's a big objective as far as my business. I want to help people as far as not just pain management, but like I want, like I said, give them a little bit of hope, motivate them, pump them up so that when they leave the office, they're just like, it's an experience. That's literally what I want them to experience. And I try to educate my clients with what I'm doing, that we can build them up a game plan as far as like, hey, this is what I need to start doing at home. This is how we're going to start tackling the shoulder pain. By the time we get a couple sessions in, you should be really knowledgeable with anatomy. Because if you're not leaving educated when you go see a professional that's supposed to help you, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so that's my big, I guess, what I'm trying to accomplish with my business. But if you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out on Instagram. It's Manni the Muscle Therapist. That's Manni with an I. You can also email me at mannithemuscletherapist@gmail.com. My phone number, that 661 Bakersfield area code 247-9393. You can feel free to text me and ask me any questions about mobility mechanics or maybe the training. Maybe you want to get back to moving properly or fixing your gauge or being able to raise your hand, touch it, whatever it is, man. It's pretty cool because mobility really is a physical philosophy where you have to communicate with somebody and you have to be open to ideas. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of talking and educating that goes on with these sessions. All the sessions are an hour. All modality styles are included. We're not, our job is to get you to feel better.
Yeah.
So, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. The office is over there in downtown Fresno. I hope more people go down there to downtown. Like I said, they're doing big things. Yeah, they're doing the Fres Yes, I think this weekend, that big festival. Then the Grizzly games are coming back. So, dude, it's cracking down there. I have big hopes for Fresno, and I just signed another 2-year lease. So, you guys got me here for another 2 years. Hopefully, I can help as many people as I can before I head out. But
you're leaving?
My final stop. Should I tell everybody where I want to meet?
Dang it!
I know. My final stop. I've had this weird attraction to Santa Cruz, and I think it's because as a kid that it was just always my dream. And I think once I get there, I can really put my feet down the ground, be a different label of grateful and man, just really, I think, be a man. You know what I mean? But I think that's where I want to get situated for sure.
Cool, dude. Thank you again for your time. I know you got like hella clients and you got a lot of stuff going on, and I appreciate you taking the time to come out. And thank you for following us, dude. Because again, it started by we had Ro on and Jen. Shout out to Hella Fresno, Roski Doski and Jen. Again, it's connecting, man. Because again, I agree. Downtown Fresno is popping, dude. Yeah. And it's not getting the credit and the love.
Yeah,
that
man,
it deserves.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
The years that I have been here, I've been down there, and I'm telling you, whoever's putting in work down there, it's working.
Yeah, they're doing it. So you're good. Again, thanks for jumping on. You guys heard a lot of pretty cool stuff, a lot of awesome content. To maybe certain individuals may come off, preachy or whatever, but you know what? This is the life. This is the brand of Still Here podcast. The heart of Johnny Fisher, the heart of myself and my wife. This is why we do this. This is why we're still here, because I feel like the message that we promote here is to encourage and have fun, to be human, and make mistakes and learn from them and grow from them, but don't let them define you, because again, we can be all serious and fun and talk about real stuff, but at the end of the day, man, when you can be happy with yourself, we can just be, I'm happy where I'm at. This is my level of success, or when you can put all that into alignment, man, you got your best life. No matter if you have the new iPhone or, like you said, the PS5, what's sustainable after that? Yeah. Past the physical. And I feel like that is the message today. And, and again, it comes down to, you've mastered something in your life, either some for positive or negative. Yeah. So you figure it out. You've mastered something, and that's all I'll say, man. So you guys, I'm gonna have Manni's information that he just mentioned in the description below. We're gonna have a bunch of teasers out. We've already had them, so I'm gonna send it to him so he can help promote and share. So you guys hit this guy up if you guys really need an impact, a real impact on your body. The physical and just a session, man, hit this man up, because from experience, that's what it made me feel great after a few days.
Oh, dude, still. I don't know why it slipped my mind, but yeah, most definitely come back and do a second one. Yeah. Dude, I missed a total. At one point, I did have 2 other therapists with me.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. It was like the best case scenario. It was my brother, my older brother. We got him to quit his job. Bro, this whole story is crazy. That, my best friend.
Let's save it. I want to talk about that part 2.
And I would feel really bad if I didn't give my older brother
give him a shout out. Give him credit.
He deserves, I genuinely feel bad that I didn't talk about him enough, but he deserves his own little.
Dude, bring him on.
Sorry. He lives with, you know what? I should bring him on, but.
Dude, we could do a Zoom.
Well, people usually, they usually trip out when they see my brother, because they're just like, if there was like a Starbucks version of you, clean cut, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's my brother. Dude, he's so responsible with everything. Yeah, organized. Dude, yeah, I would love for you guys to meet him. Dude,
that'd be dope. Maybe part 2, we'll bring you. We'll definitely have Johnny in, and we'll plan it. We'll talk about that. So save that. I want you guys. That's a teaser for part 2 coming soon. But again, hit this man up for your sessions, man, because again, what it did for me in the past few days, or after I had it in the past few days, was amazing. Even now I'm starting to get back to my pain in my back and knees a little, but
we gotta get that training.
Yeah, I'm down for that training, so we'll plan that. So stay tuned, because he's gonna start pumping out media content online, and we're gonna help him out. We're gonna do some work with him, and again, all his information will be in the description below, man. Hit him up. Get your sessions in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check out our other podcasts we have. Man, just so you guys know, tune in April 8th. This is going to be good, because this will go on probably next week.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so we'll have this early, man, because, dude, if you got nothing going on, April 8th, we're going to be remote at Grizzlies.
Yeah, oh yeah, heck yeah, man. 9th will be my birthday, remember?
Dude, that's right.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah. So yeah, this will be the end of this month, March, and bro, we're going remote at the Fresno Chachancia Park, Fresno Grizzlies opening day. We're having a remote podcast there. Maybe jump on again. Yeah. Promote this pod again, dude.
Downtown, like I said, I'm 100% on that downtown team. I'm super proud of them.
Downtown team.
Dude, they're sick. They're sick with it.
Dude, that's what's up. All right, you guys have a great day, great life. hit us up. If you guys got questions, hit us up. If you guys want, certain topics to talk about, hit us up, man. We're here for you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.